Good morning everyone. Let's start. Actually, due to the technicalities, I took some minutes. We are going to be talking about Precie writing today, and we are in the text first. Textbook page 37. These are the pictures. Match the sentences with the correct photos. Right? I'm going to tell you a story so that you can understand it. And this is the kind of, it is called, the technique called suggestopedia, like learning things through visualization and total description of something. It will be like permanent memory task. We have got two memories, as you know, short-term memory and long-term memory. Like just watch, you will learn. That's the technique. So as you can see, these are the characters of the story. I'm going to be just talking about 4 characters so that it becomes simple. The first character is the unsuccessful lawyer, Sidney Carton. I already shared the script. Sidney Carton. Successful person, Charles Darnay, the hero. And the heroine, Lucy Manette. Right? And Lucy Manette's father, Dr. Manette. 4 characters. Right? This is the visual display first. And I'm going to be telling you a little bit about that. Lucy Manette is a very confident, strong, mentally very strong type of lady and honest type of person. And also good looking. Sidney Carton, good looking, handsome, but the problem is that he is drunk, unsuccessful, frustrated with his life, and he mixes with bad people. He drinks a lot. As a lawyer, he is very unsuccessful. But he loves Lucy Manette very strongly. On the other hand, Charles Darnay is a man of success, like he is from London, England, and he came to Paris. I forgot to mention one thing. Sidney Carton is from Paris, France, and Charles Darnay is from England, London. He comes to Paris to meet Dr. Manette. Charles Darnay and Lucy Manette, they don't have relationship, but they have got a kind of connection. I should say
attraction.
Yeah, a kind of attraction. Another word is there, fascination for each other, but they don't talk to each other. Interesting. Means they have got some sort of soft corner inside, but they never share. That's interesting type of communication, and it means they like each other, but they don't talk to each other. Interesting. And he has got high personality. Dr. Manette is a very respected, reputed person in the whole area. He helps poor people, and he like serves the society almost. Right? So I'm telling you a story. The name of the story is A Tale of Two Cities, written by Cities-Dickens, and it is about French Revolution. French Revolution is a story when poor people tortured rich people. Alright? Because most of the time rich people torture poor people, but this was a twist. In 1789, all the poor people and middle class people attacked rich people. That's the kind of twist. So we are going to talk about that, and as you see, most of the rich class dominates everything, and because of them all the problems were created, right? And that was the only time when poor people dominated, almost killed rich people. So let's talk about one very interesting thing that is called Precie. So I'm going to be talking about Precie writing today. Precie, as you can see, the picture is suggesting that we'll have to make things brief. I gave you a long page. It should be done within 100 words. You have to comprise, means you'll have to read thoroughly and bring everything in 100 words. So that within 100 words, the story is clear. Nothing is missing. What is the definition? A Precie may be defined as a restatement in shortened form of the main ideas and points in a piece of writing. Clear? You have done summary in HSC. That summary and Precie are totally different. Can you remember, you have also done, I guess, theme writing? No? You haven't done. Probably other people, other students have done. It's like 100 words. That's the limitation. It means 5 sentences to be exact. A Precie contains 1/3 of the number of the words in the original passage. So if it is 300 words, you'll have to make it 100 words. For writing Precie's, clear understanding of the original passage is necessary. You have to understand everything clearly. All the vocabulary should be clear. Don't just repeat different words from the original one. So that is your bad habit. Most often you just make synonyms and antonyms and write it down, and as a result, things become horrible. You also copy some sentences from the passage, and that should not be done. And this is your negative point. Don't make a paraphrase of the original passage. You sometimes retranslate the sentences. You cannot do that too. If you do that, teacher will understand that. You just retranslate it. You cannot do that. Don't list the main points. So what is the technique I am following? I read the passage, I close it. Then I write it myself. It means nothing is copied. And that's the only technique I follow. A Precie is a piece of continuous writing. It has proper organization of ideas, logical sequencing of the points, use variety of language as the situation demands. Don't include any comments, explanation or elaboration. No comments from yourself. Like, I believe, I think, it can be said that. Never write this. Don't include any comments and avoid examples. For example, I think, for instance, illustrations or literary frills used by the writer of the original passage. Or you could say that Rousseau said that a man is born but he is chained everywhere. A man is born free but he is chained everywhere. He cannot quote anybody's line. It should be your line. Clear? These are the mistakes that we often commit. Note. A Precie is not a creative writing, it is merely a condensed reproduction. Condensed means short, brief version of the original writer's ideas. It does not contain any comments, explanation or elaboration. Precie writers should avoid examples, illustrations and literary fields used by the writer. It is repeated. So, writing good Precie requires clear understanding of the given passage. So I'll like make you understand the whole passage first. Otherwise you will not understand. I'll tell you a story even. If you understand the total background, then you can write it all by yourself. And the ability to reproduce its main ideas effectively in your own language. Think about your Bangla. If I ask you to write about 6 seasons of Bangladesh, will you memorize? Will you copy any line from anywhere? You will write it completely in your own language. That's the main target. Write everything in your own language. If it is mistaken, no problem. It is first year now. I'm here to help you. Qualities of a good Precie is completeness. It should be complete. Suppose if I say I am so happy, is it complete sentence? If I say I am so happy, is it complete sentence? No. I am so happy that I cannot express. Then this is complete sentence. Clarity. What I want to mean. If I said, you said that, sir, sorry sir, I couldn't come to the class. And I said, always stay safe and happy. Is the meaning clear? No, there is no clarity. You said something, I said something else. It means I avoided you. Did you notice? There is no clarity. You said something, I said, always stay safe and happy. It means I avoided you. It means you avoided my classes, I also avoided you technically. So there is no clarity. What's the clarity? Sir, like I was sick, here is my report. I was in the hospital for 1 month, that's why I couldn't come. Please allow me for the next classes. Then I'll say that definitely I will allow you as you have the documentation. And I will please talk to the chairman. She will permit with the seal, and then I will give your attendance. Then that is the clarity. Whatever you want to say, it should be clear. Last one is conciseness. Means it should be brief. You cannot say things in detail. Right? A little learning is a dangerous thing. What is the Bangla? So if I say, if you learn very little and want to display a lot of things together, people will be unhappy. Is it complete? Is it clear? Is it concise? No. A little learning is a dangerous thing, is complete and clear and concise. Clear? Saying things in 3 sentences or saying things in 1 sentence is enough. Completeness. A Precie should cover the essential contents of the given passage. It should not omit any important fact or idea. That is completeness. Clarity. A Precie should express the meaning of the original passage clearly, and it must be free from ambiguities. What is ambiguity? Who can tell me? Ambiguity means confusion. Confusion. And do you know the perfect Bangla? Clear? No confusion. Ambiguities. And redundancies. Who can tell me what is redundancy? Repetition of the same word. If I say, I have seen it in my own eyes. My own eyes. Repetition. Sir, please repeat it again. Repeat it again. This is redundancy. Redundancy means same things were repeated. If I say I am thankful and grateful to you, thankful means grateful, grateful means thankful. If I say this is new innovation, new means innovation, innovation means new. This is called redundancy. You cannot say the same thing in a different word. And it is clarity. No ambiguity and no redundancy. Consciousness. A Precie must be essentially brief and precise, and it should be coherent, meaning a piece of writing presenting argument logically. Mere omission of the certain words, phrases, or clauses from the original passage may produce a poor Precie. This will be may. Typing this. May produce a poor Precie. Remember the following points while writing Precies. Use your own language. Arrange the ideas, events, arguments in a sequence as the original passage. Drop figures of speech, examples, and illustrations. Avoid it. Drop means avoid. Give maximum information within the required limit. Required limit is 100 words. Use the indirect speech. Alright, indirect speech. Third person narrative. It can be said that I say that is wrong. I think that. We believe that. This is personal. Third person means it can be said that. Do not divide phrases in a paragraph except a very long original passage. Do not divide it. It should be one paragraph. Do not make any comments. No comments. Ten steps to Precie writing. Definitely the first step is read. I have already given the passage. Reading. Then understanding. Putting down the main ideas. Read the passage again. This reading should be done within 7 minutes. But what do? You don't even read. You copy some lines from the passage, then summary done. Underline the keywords, phrases and clauses. Select essential points, write them down briefly. Don't change the meaning of the original writing. Prepare the first draft, this rough. At first, rough. You should keep one extra page. At the last page of the exam script, make a draft On the basis of underline, then cut it. After you finish the fair one, the final draft, on the basis of underline keywords, phrases and essential points, you have jotted down. Jotted down is found out. Alright. So I'd like to show you the main story now. So take a look at this. We read it. It's very. So let me download it and make it broad. Switch the SE on. Is it fine? Can you see properly?
Yes, sir.
So let's start the passage first. We're just going to, I have given this text, a tale of two cities. We are practicing Precie. These are the best lines for you and for this time. November 2023. Right? Today what's the date? 25 November 2023. Saturday. And next week is your presentation. Take a look at this. It was the best of times. This is the best of time for me and you. It was the worst of times. Right? Anything goes wrong, this will be damaged. It was the age of wisdom. It was the age of foolishness. Wisdom means knowledge and foolishness means stupidity. It was the epoch of belief. It was the epoch of incredulity. Incredulity means disbelief. Believe and disbelief. I believe you and I also don't believe you. Am I right? It was the season of light and it was the season of darkness. Am I right? Suppose something happened to you, you can't share with anybody. And there are some incidents like that. And that is called, it was the season of light and it was the season of darkness. But remember, I already suggested one thing, there is a solution. What's the solution? Be very clear to your father and mother. That's it. There will be no problem. Believe me. It was the spring of hope. It was the winter of despair. So there is hope and there is despair. We had everything before us. We had everything before us. We had nothing before us. Choice is yours. Which one will you take? Everything or nothing? We were all going direct to heaven. We were all going direct to the other way. What is heaven and what is other way? That is hell. So what is heaven? And what is that? Suppose I have got affection, care, dedication, hard work, trust, honesty for you. That is heaven. The bonding between you and me. If the opposite thing happens, just negative, all the things negative, that will be hell. But eyes will tell you that is. That's the idea. In short, the period was so far like the present period that some of the noisiest authorities insisted on its being received for good or evil in a superlative degree of comparison only. So there is good and there is evil. Choice is yours. Think about your mobile phone. Choice is yours, whether to choose good or evil. There are so many videos, one after another. Which videos you see, you know only. Am I right? If you just watch some attractive, lucrative videos, you will be formulated in that way. Means choice is yours. It's the worst of times for you. If you just do other way around, it was the best of times. Let me give one example from this university. One of my students, he watches videos. He is busy with technology, no problem. But he learns from every video. He does not watch a single video uselessly. You know, he is very expert in tech, like technology sites. And he learned freelancing totally from YouTube. And his current earning is 1245 euros per month. Not dollar, euros. And this has not been done in one day. He has been continuous efforts. He never used phone in other way around. He learned and learned and learned for 2 years without any course. Somehow he managed to buy a laptop, and then he was earning. And he's running his own courses. Full funding is done by himself for this university. So what's the thing? It was the best of times. Choice is yours. What do you do? So I'm telling you the background of the story. Now let's come to the tale of two cities. A Tale of Two Cities tells the stories of two connected families of the 18th century London and Paris. London and Paris. Exploring everything from love and loss. Love and loss. If you love everything, can anybody defeat you? If you always think about your benefit, people can defeat you. That is loss. To murder and the family intrigue, thus teaching us about history, ethics. Remember, this word is very important. And because of this, I am alive today. I'll tell you in the last class. And the complexity of human relationship. Human relationship is complex. Am I right? If you are unsuccessful, your father will say that go out from my house. I don't want to just feed you one more day. I spent 10 lakh taka for 5 years. You have done nothing to this home. How do you feel? Opposite thing could happen. You are successful, your family members are proud of you. The complexity of human relationship. Every relationship is based on some benefits. This was the time when the doctors were arrested in Paris without any trial. Dr. Manet got arrested and locked in the worst prison ever versatile. He serves 18 years of the sentence and is extremely heartbroken once he leaves the prison. Suppose I am doing everything right, somehow without any reason I was arrested, and in place of somebody I was arrested and in the prison for 18 years. How do I feel? It's not very well. I will just lose my mind. I will be abnormal. Total faith will be broken. Same thing happened to Dr. Manet. I haven't done a single wrong throughout from my childhood to till now. I'm not saying this. Dr. Manet is saying this. And then said that what God has done to me. I was in the prison. But after 18 years he came out of the prison and said that everything is determined by God. I cannot blame my fate. He accepted. So acceptance is the best way. Fate has its own ways. So God has written something for you and you have to follow that. Nothing to go against. The doctor now stays with his old servant and he now wants to return back to London where he can live peacefully with his daughter. He is free from prison but pain lies in his heart and he seldom speaks to anyone. He is busy cobbling shoes and stays alone in the dark room. Just think, he lost his mind. Once he was a doctor, now he is making shoes. Surprising, right? You see, I told you probably in one of my classes that in the street you see some mad people. Believe me, they were probably better than us one time. Dr. Manet has the best daughter in the world. So God has always compensation. If I let you suffer, I'll give you something that is like priceless. The best daughter in the world is faultless daughter. Who has got it? Dr. Manet. And all this wise girl is interested in making her father fit and healthy. So she is working on the fitness of father, both psychological and physical fitness. Lucy. Lucy real spelling is this. Lucy brings her father back to London and Dr. Manet is now on the peak of health, in a very good condition. He becomes a practicing doctor and soon starts living a wonderful life with his daughter in Soho. His daughter Lucy is loving and a kind-hearted girl, and she makes her father forget about the pain he has suffered in the past. Both of them are called witnesses in a treason of case. So both of them are in the court as a witness. Now the hero comes. A young man named Charles Darnay. A young man named Charles Darnay is accused of providing some secret information to the French government. Let me tell you one very interesting thing. If you go to Pakistan or India and make a phone call loudly in the city street, this India is beautiful, or this Pakistan is beautiful. I can see a building here in the corner of the building. There are rooms. These rooms are like president's suite rooms. Wonderful decoration. And a police officer is listening to you. This room has got 2 windows, and underneath there is a kind of beautiful swimming pool. So you are expressing everything publicly, and police officer will definitely arrest you because you are passing the information to some other country and you are not a person from India or Pakistan. Am I right? This is called spying. You understand? Never do this. This is very dangerous, like law-breaking type situation. So, and Lucy somehow saves him from the blame, and Charles is now free. Charles Darnay has been saved by Lucy, said that I know this person and he is a very good person. He does not have any kind of breach of the law of the government. He falls deeply in love with Lucy, who has another secret admirer to whose name is Sidney Carton, as I told you. So Lucy has got one person from Paris, another person from London. But the surprising thing is that both of them look alike. Remember this. This is the clue. Look alike, you understand? They look almost same. But Lucy can understand who is who. And they are also friends. Charles Darnay and Sidney Carton. They are good friends. Although Sidney Carton has got bad habits, Charles Darnay does not have any bad habits. But unfortunately, good person was in the jail, bad person who was in the street. He was free. You understand? It happens sometimes. There is a reason for this. On his wedding day, Charles reveals a deep secret to his father-in-law, his family secret. He reveals that he is a French nobleman belonging to the family which led to the Dr. Saab prison for 18 long years. So Charles Darnley said that I am a son of a very rich family. I did not like this rich family. They were proud, rich, they were wasting things, and I didn't like it. That's why I left my family. That secret was open. And remember, that period means poor people eat rich people. So who is the target now? Rich people. Let me tell you how. What happened? One day, a car. At the time, the cars, you understand? A rich man was driving a car. Suddenly, a son of a poor man got inside the car and was smashed, spot dead. And he sent some money from his pocket. Who? The rich man fell some money, dropped down some money. Let's do something with this. He driving fast and went right. And that made these poor people very angry. He said that I will destroy your full family. You are showing your money of power, right? Power of money. What's the value of this life? And that fired up the revolution. And these poor people and middle class people became so angry with these rich people that, like, whoever you are, it doesn't matter. They started attacking. Right? Then comes the next point. Initially, Dr. Maynard is shocked, but gradually he realizes the fact that though Charles' father and uncle were not wise, he loves Lucy alone. Thus permits Charles to marry his beautiful daughter. At first, he understood the background. Background is that, honestly speaking, if you marry some rich boy or a girl, will you be happy? Think. Never. Even if you are rich and that person is also rich, equally rich, even then you will not be happy. Because they are always proud. Show up. And I am not saying this. The story says middle class is the upper station of life. Why? Because middle class people cannot break the morality. Poor people can. Rich people can. But middle class people cannot break the sense of morality. They are afraid of losing respect. Am I right? And almost 75% people in Bangladesh belong to this middle class. Not only in Bangladesh, in the whole world actually. So Dr. Maynard has now started living with his daughter Lucy and his son-in-law Charles Darnley, and earns a decent livelihood by earning a living as a tutor. Charles has proven to be the best son-in-law ever, and Dr. Maynard, there is a mistake, Maynard is wrong, it will be Maynard, is also overwhelmed to see his daughter happy. Now, everything was going well. Suddenly something happened. Charles Darnley was again arrested. Alright? Charles Darnley was again arrested. Now I'm going to be telling you a story, what happened. Remember Sidney Carton, right? Lucy, Darnley, Dr. Maynard. Okay. One day Lucy was alone in the house. And remember Sidney Carton was drunk. Right? He loves Lucy very much. Like in his whole life, he never saw a perfect girl. Only Lucy was the perfect girl. Sidney Carton. He came to the house, proposed her to marry, started disturbing her, touching her hand and saying that I will stay here all night and this and that and that. So many bad words. Lucy was very intelligent and cool, calm and composed, mentally very strong. He said that definitely you are a guest. I welcome you to the house. Sit down please, I'll treat you. But he was misbehaving. Somehow she managed to let Sidney out of the house. When Sidney Carton went out of the house, remember revolutionaries, poor people thought that this was Darnay. Alright? And then Sidney Carton was beaten severely. Extremely. And who saw this? Lucy saw this. Lucy dragged Sidney Carton in her house. She was a daughter of a doctor. She knows how to treat patients. He was senseless. All body throughout there was blood. And Lucy treated Sidney Carton whole night to save him. And in the morning, Sidney Carton got back into his senses. And when he woke up, saw that Lucy is lying down on the sofa and there is blood, cotton bandage everywhere and his body is full of pain. He could remember the past. And then Lucy Maynard also woke up. And then Sidney Carton said, Lucy, please don't say a single word. I'm telling you. I'm really sorry that I have done so many wrong things with you. I should not. And you are today not a human being for me. You are an angel for me because you saved my life, number one. Number two, I understood your mentality now. I understood the code of human life now. And I promise you, if I get a single chance to save you, even if I lose my life, I will do that. I'll save you anyhow. Then one day, remember Darnay was arrested? Because when Sidney Carton was beaten, he said that I am not Darnay, I am not Darnay. They understood later. And again Darnay was arrested. And the next day, he was guillotined. He is supposed to be guillotined. Do you understand guillotine? Guillotine is a kind of trap where you put your head, you will be beheaded. And that happened in French Revolution. And who is the judge? This group of people are the judge. No lawyer. So Darnay was arrested and sentenced to death. The next morning he is supposed to die. Sidney Carton heard this because Darnay is the husband of Lucy. And Lucy is going to give birth a baby. Right? Sidney knew this. And Sidney said that I will take a risk. He is a lawyer, remember? He made a paper and went to the jail with some of his friends and met Darnay. Right? He also brought a kind of injection to make him senseless. Whom? Darnay. He went there because Darnay didn't agree. Sidney said that change my dress, you become Sidney, I will become Darnay. And I will stay in the prison, you will go out. Darnay didn't agree. Then he made him senseless and changed the dress. Then went out of the jail. And the next morning, who was killed? Sidney Carton was killed. He sacrificed his life to save a family. And Darnay, the next morning, he got back into senses. It took 12 hours to come into senses. Lucy and Darnay, they were leading their life peacefully. But after 6 months, Lucy got to know that Sidney is no more. Then Lucy got like totally shocked, like this. How could this happen? Then finally, what happened? Like Lucy and Darnay, they had a baby. The name of the baby was given as Sidney Carton. And in this story, we learned that like morality and ethics is so strong. If you have that power, like you will live in heaven, even you are in the earth. That's the amazing story. And from that story, I learned French Revolution. Hopefully, I understood the whole story. Can you summarize it in 100 words? In the next class, you'll have to give it to me. Now, I didn't finish yet. Take a look. I will tell you a kind of picture of this real one. You will find it in Google. It's a real incident actually. Is it interesting? Did you understand the story clearly?
Yes, sir.
Because if I do not make the interesting lesson, you won't understand. Please have silence. A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. He is the mastermind here, Charles Dickens. If there is Nobel Prize, he could have achieved this Nobel Prize. But at that time there was no Nobel Prize. There was no Nobel Prize that time. So these are the characters here. Lucy married. The main character that I am talking about from the textbook you see there. A beautiful young woman recognized for her kindness and compassion. Page 37. After being reunited with her father, Dr. Manet, and she cares for him and remains devoted to him, even after her marriage to Charles Darnay. Do you understand? This is the character here. She is extremely beautiful at the same time, strongly built, very strongly built. So this is Dr. Manet. He became abnormal in the jail for 18 years. Out of mistake he was arrested. This is father, a French doctor. A prisoner of the Bastille for 18 years, suffers from mental trauma from the experience. Loses his reason and thinks he is a shoemaker. He forgot his identity and he was thinking that he was a shoemaker. This is Charles Darnay, another handsome man. A Frenchman of noble family, high class person. Real name was Charles Evamonde. His real name was Charles Evamonde. He changed his name. And this is his husband. Cities-Dickens, he is the hero actually. Originally he is the hero. He transformed him from worst to the best. He was once the worst person, now he turned into the best. An unsuccessful lawyer looks just like Darnay. That's the point. Just looks like Darnay. Loves Lucy and sacrifices his life to save Lucy's husband. This key point I'm just highlighting. These are the other characters. We don't need this. Louis XVI was the king at that time. You know nylon, N-Y-L-O-N, nylon. Nye means New York, Lon means London. I told you once. So where is London? London is the capital of England. England under the reign of King George III that time. At that time London was a dangerous place with a lot of crime, particularly robbery. Also grave robbing was occurring at that time as seen in the novel. One of my teachers, he shared his experience that in London. Don't think that London is a very ideal city. If you are out at 10 p.m., I mean, you could be attacked by some robbers. Right? That's very dangerous. You have to stay safe. You cannot go to the lonely places. Very dangerous. Paris. So we are talking about the next city, Paris. And they are always enemy. France and England, they are enemy country, remember. French people do not like English. English people do not like French. Under the reign of Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette came to the French Revolution, third state citizens and commoners were very heavily taxed and starving. Is it clear? Suppose your earning is 30,000, tax is 20,000. Tax. How do you feel? Tax is 20,000, earning is 30,000. Will you be able to manage? There was the situation there. And people became angry. All of them became revolutionaries. You see, Lucy Manet for the first time got a letter and got to know that her father is alive. Lucy was taken care somewhere else. Alright? In London, when the jury notices the likeness of Carton and Charles, with Sidney Carton and Charles Darnay, they were looking alike. And people understood this. And this was a trial in London. The scene that I am talking about, the rebels come to take Charles back to the prison. Charles Darnay was taken away by people. Although Lucy Manet and Dr. Manet they requested, they couldn't hear. Alright, so let's stop here today and stop there.